Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel about cross stitch, and every once in a while some other crafty kind of stuff too. If you are brand new, I want to say welcome and thank you for pressing play. I hope you like what you'll see and you'll press subscribe and like and come back and visit with me. And if you're a returning viewer, I want to say thank you very much for coming back and visiting week to week. You guys are the best with commenting and reaching out. It's so nice to have a conversation after the video and hopefully learn more about each other and get to be a little bit more crafty friends, because I have no stitchy friends outside you guys. So you are becoming my stitchy friends very fast. Life is life. I've made one trip to the grocery store, I'm home. I don't even have any good grocery store stories to tell you, so that's no fun. But I thought what I would do is, if I could come up with some stay-at-home discoveries. I found one this week that you all may know about. I didn't, and it's been fantastic to help me get through some of the long stretches of the week. I know in the past I've looked at my library and they've had, you can take out books digitally, and I think you could rent movies. I don't even really remember. I mean, in this age of streaming, we have Netflix and Amazon Prime, so I've never really looked into that. But I got an email from them a couple weeks ago, and they were closing, but they said you could still call us if you needed to call a librarian and ask them a question. And you could take out books, take out movies, but you could also watch TV shows. And one of the stations that they have for free is Acorn, which I have hemmed and hawed about ever since, it wasn't Netflix, it was Amazon. Ever since Amazon took Murdoch Mysteries off of Prime and stuck it on Acorn, I've gone back and forth about whether or not I wanted to pay extra for the extra channel. And I always said, well, if I run out of stuff that I really want to watch on either Amazon or Netflix, then I'll think about it. And I hadn't gotten to that point yet. Well, it turns out with my library card, I get Acorn for free. I basically plugged in my address, my library card. It took me to a digital service that carries Acorn. And what I do is I check it out for a week and use it as much as I want. I just got an email from them because my first week's almost up, and they basically say your week's time is almost up. Just check it out again. We'll have saved all of your previously watched and all of that information about you on your account. So I thought that was really cool. If you watch Acorn shows and you have something that I have to watch, I have started Murdoch Mysteries back from season 1 because I couldn't remember who did it in any of the episodes. So I said I might as well start from scratch and go through all the seasons. And at some point though, the way I'm going with not going anywhere and just having streaming on a lot in the background, I may need some other things. So if you have some suggestions, hit me up in the comments below and let me know, because I'd love to find something fun and new to watch. Especially, I don't mind heavier stuff, but lighthearted is always fun too, because in this time, something lighthearted. I'm watching season, I think it's 3 of Mrs. Maisel too as well, and that just cracks me up, and it's very easy to stitch to, and the time goes by quickly. But if you are looking for that station or any others, check your library, because with a valid library card, and I know our library right now, they're issuing temporary cards for people whose cards may have expired. I don't know how they're proving residence, but it's an option. So go out there and check out what might be free right now for you, as a lot of us are just staying home. So that was my stay home discovery this week, and it was a good one for me because I've watched almost the very first season so far of Murdoch in the 1 week. So that's what I've got for there. And if you've got a discovery that you found that helps make the time go by a little bit faster, again, put the comments down below. I think we could all help each other stay sane in this time with finding some new ways to stitch, but also have something going on in the background too. Alrighty, well, let's get going to the stitching. Before I actually show the stitching, I do want to say a shout out thanks to Hoops and Needles. I was a couple episodes behind. I think about a month ago, she gave me a shout out. So thank you very much. And she is doing her last video. She is doing a gigantic, I don't know if it's a sampler or what it is. And she's only got the top part done. It's beautiful so far. And she showed the fabric and she had to lean back. And then she said, and that's only half of it. And it's flipped over. So I'm fascinated by what this will look like when it is completely finished. And I'm really looking forward to watching her progress from video to video. So I will link her down below if you are interested in checking her out. If you haven't been watching her already, maybe you have. All right, I have a finish. Now I don't have a fully finished because I'm not leaving the house. And I do have a little bit of sticky board, but I really don't have much else. So right now I'm just gonna be happy with my finish and go from there. So I finished Tiny see, and I could say it fine all week, but now I'm trying to say it on the video. Tiny Modernist, yay! The Ocean Breeze one. This is Summer Signs. So there's 4 different signs that come in the pattern, and I did the first one. I think my plans are, I had told you this last week, to maybe do 3 of them and then do something with them when I can find whatever I find. And I thought this was a lot of fun. I know these colors are not for everybody, but it was funny because as I was doing them, I found a invitation. Now this one is just a sample one. When my kids were little, I used to do fancy invitations. And if I can find the sleepover one I did for my daughter, I would love to show that because that's probably one of my most pinned pins on Pinterest too. But this one was, she's an August birthday, so it was summer themed. So we did a flip flop and then I would have put the information in there. But it had the blues and the greens, and so it reminded me of that. So it brought back some memories of that. So we have a finish. And that will go to the side now until I have a chance to get back out in the world and go shopping again to figure out what I can finish it with. Other than that, we have just steadily working on my whips. Again, I had told you that because of the way the schooling and my husband's work, I have long stretches of time where I can't clean, I can't cook, everything's gotta be quiet, especially for my son. He's one of those learners that he can't be distracted from the background. So I stick on my headphones and I stitch. So the first one I'm gonna show you is Suffrage Act. And this is Little House Needleworks. This is a Sal with Stitching with the Sisterlies to get it done before Election Day. I did change the white. It was originally, and this is DMC, and this is a coffee tea dyed Ada of my own. I had originally tried the 822 that was supposed to go with this area and all the white areas basically, and it just blended right in. So I ended up, I'm looking here, with 3865, and I love it. I love how it pops out much better. I finally got the words done without misspelling the word, and then I decided to jump on down to her dress. That thing is huge with the white stitching. But I'm coming along and I'm really, really enjoying. I like stitching this one. I really like stitching this one. So that's been a lot of fun to work on. Second, we have my Lighthouse, Comfort Lighthouse by Carriage House Samplings. Still loving this one. This one is on Confederate Gray, which is funny because in person, it definitely has blue tones. So I love it for this kind of nautical type of pattern. It really looks nice on it, especially with these colors of blue that were charted for. And this is in DMC. I did not change any of the colors. I think it's originally charted for silks, but they also give you DMC conversions. Yes, they do. So then I finished this week. I finally finished the ship and I worked on the compass. Thank you so much, guys. I, for some reason, couldn't remember that word, so somebody very kindly told me in the comments. So we are coming along. I did set a goal for myself to finish the mermaid tail by the end of March. So I have a few days left, so I think I will tackle that part next. She's got quite a tail, and it's a variation of colors, 3 different colors, so you really have to count and pay attention. So I'm gonna go back to working on her tail so that I can have that goal finished. And maybe maybe I'll have her finished by next week, but I'm not sure. I think it's supposed to rain this weekend, so if we're stuck inside and can't even go for walks around the neighborhood, I might get some more stitching in. We'll see. All right, and then again, another one that I love stitching on, Halloween Sampler from Cottage Garden Samplings. This is on Picture This Plus Shale. And I got my row done. Yay! Oops. And I finished the crow, and I think there's a little bone here. So I am now currently working on the next row. I had most of knocking already done, so I finished that, and I had some extra, so I started working down there. So what do we have here? I already have some of this row complete, so we'll see if I keep going, if I'm feeling really inspired. This fabric is a little bit floppier, and I stitch in hand, so sometimes my hand gets a little tired stitching with it, so I have to take a break. But what's funny is on my white Aida that I did the summer sign on, that's obviously the exact opposite of the Picture This Plus, and I almost gripped too tight for an opposite reason, so a different part hurts. So it's actually really nice switching patterns from different days, because then I can stretch out what I need to stretch out and not keep doing the same type of motion necessarily, keeping my my wrists and my hands happy. So that is my Halloween sampler coming along. I am definitely still enjoying this. I've decided if one of these whips all of a sudden becomes more of a chore, I'm going to put it aside for a few weeks and then go back to it when it's not so much a chore, but still loving that one. Next, we have Little House Needleworks Summer ABCs. This is done on vintage or country vintage mocha, vintage country mocha, however you want to say it. And we got the house done. Did I even, I don't know if I finished it. That house, it's a little house, and it still took me forever, which is really ironic with my new start coming up that I'll show you. But I thought, okay, it's little, it won't take me so long. Yeah, no, I didn't finish down underneath the house. So I definitely must have just decided to put it away. So we'll finish that and then keep going with the alphabet. Oh, there we go. With it. But the house is cute. It came out cute. I just got to keep working on it. And I think there's a couple more pictures left. But the letters go by really quick. So when it's just the letters, that flies. Houses, not so much. And then the last of the whips from this week, the current whips, is my Christmas rules. I'm done. This is number 10. 10 out of 12. So there it is. Hang mistletoe. Yay. And the whole. So what is next? I have the next one here. Of course, I have to see, okay, which one it is. Give more than you get. And that's the next one. And this is the very last packet of 2. So we are in the home stretch. I may give myself a break this week on this. I feel accomplished every week when I have another section done, but it's so big that I feel like, okay, when am I going to actually get the whole thing done? But in the last few sections, I've made a few mistakes here and there and had to rip things out because I wasn't paying attention and counting right. So we'll see. This may or may not get a little break for a week or 2, but I only have 2 left. So I'm going to give myself the goal to have this done by the end of April, which is totally doable at this point. And then it'll sit in the pile because I may still be home at that point and not looking for stuff to finish with. But I really like it. I do. It's just very long. So that will be the plan. Whether that plan happens this week and you see block number 11 next week. We'll see. I actually have no clue. I don't know what I'm doing. But I do know I have a new start. And who would have thought starting a new start would take so much effort? So yesterday I'd finished my summer signs, the Ocean Breeze, and I said, you know what? I want to start something new as opposed to just pulling out another whip. And I was going to start, well, there was two different starts I was going to do. I was dying to use one of my new fabrics from Garibaldi's that was bright and colorful because I have a lot of the mocha and the coffee tea dye, and I wanted something bright. And so I was going to do an Easter, and then I realized there was something wrong with the key, and I didn't have all the colors. And I do want to email, it's a digital pattern, so I do want to email the designer and just ask her so I don't make a mistake somehow or other. So I put that one to the side, and then I said, okay, I'll start Annie B's because I have one of those blues that I think would be really good for it, the Widow's Walk. And then I threw the colors on there, the floss on there, because I had gotten the called fors. And there's one or two that I think I want to change. So then I said, okay, well, then that's not happening. That'll be more of a weekend project, I think. And I have to see what I have because otherwise I would have to order the floss online. So then I went, and it's not colorful. It's back with Vintage Country Mocha, but I've been wanting to start this, and the floss is colorful. So that counts. It is Prim Village. I know a lot of you are doing it. Is Fat Quarter Shop? They're doing a sal, I think, with it, right? And it's the Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet. Now, the called for it's an oatmeal that they use, the mottled side. Well, when I looked at it online, first off, I'm still liking my 18 count, so I still wanted that. But it looked exactly like Vintage Country Mocha, online at least. So I pulled out my Vintage Country Mocha. I have a whole bunch of it from one of my few months ago. I had gotten a bunch from 123 Stitch, and it's only a little start. That's all I have so far. I had kitted it up with all of the called for DMCs. I did not buy the Aura Floss. Is that what it's called? But I love the colors of the DMC. They're nice and bright. Of course, the first colors I've got are the muted colors. But I am planning on doing the house before I do more border. And I might mix around. I might not stitch it exactly as it looks in the picture. I have to think about that this week, see where I get, and I might be able to tell you some more about that next week. Are you changing it up? Are you doing it exactly? For those of you that are stitching it or participating in the sal, are you doing it exactly? I'd love to see it. Let me know if you're stitching it, if you are showing it either on Instagram or if you have Flosstube, so that I can see, because I'm loving to see the different variations. So this will be a bit smaller than what's charted because I'm using the 18. Although I suppose, well, no, because if you do it over 2, it's bigger. But who did I see? Was it Colorado Girl? No, what is she? She's in a Colorado world. Oh, I'm just blanking now. She was doing it on the 25, but she's doing it over 1. So she was saying hers was going to be smaller. So I would be in between. If you're stitching the 25 count over 2, that would be pretty big. This one's not going to be that big. So that's it. That's what I've got so far. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to grabbing out the colors. I debated, did I want to keep it on this type of background, but I think with the bright colors, I think it'll look really cute. So I'm looking forward to that, adding a bit more. So next week, if I do continue this one start a week, which seems to be working, we'll see. I had a finish last week. Although if I put Christmas rules aside for a little bit, then I'd have space for another one. But at some point, I'm going to run out of days to stitch if I don't get things finished. Next week, I might have something a bit more colorful. We'll see once I play around with the flosses and colors. Other than that, looking ahead, a couple of you mentioned Mania in response to my question, and some of you did mention about like one new start a week. which that sounds doable to me, especially because I want to keep going with what I have already started. Some of these, I don't know, in 4 weeks, I don't know if they're all going to be finished. Some of them might, but I'm not sure all of them will, and I'm enjoying stitching them. So if I continue, maybe this is my 2020 plan for now, is one new start a week until we can get out and about again, and then I won't have as much time to stitch. But I'm liking that, and for now, I think that's what my mania is going to be. If you do that as well, maybe we can come up with a cool little hashtag so that we can do it as like a little mania group. But yeah, if you're still thinking about mania, keep giving me some ideas. I have to figure out what I want to stitch. I want to stitch all the things I have, but I only have so much time. So that's the plan coming up. Shopping. I do have a little bit. Not a lot. I have a few things that have been back ordered or coming in, so I've got a few different things that it's almost like a little surprise. This one is Silver Creek Samplers, and it is, what is it called? Taking It Easy. You know I like ocean stuff, so I saw this and I definitely wanted to give this one a try. That's cute. Really, really cute. And I'm debating, would this look cute on like a really dark blue as opposed to the light? I might try that at some point when I pull the floss and throw it on there and see what it looks like. Now this one, Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, way when she was first starting her floss tube, I think. I don't remember when I saw her doing this, but I've always thought of this one in the back of my head because I loved how she did it. Cricut Collection Skeleton Crew. That's not a start anytime soon, but it's so cute. So at some point, that will get started. Down the line, I don't know when. And then we have, for me, a new designer that I have not tried before, Satsuma Street. I know a lot of you have. She's got this great color and they're just happy. You look at the patterns and they just make you happy. Halloween Cat. I do like the fabric that it was, the color that it was stitched on. For me, I've never tried Satsuma Street. Like Tiny Modernist, really good cardstock. The pattern inside is color coded. The symbols look different enough that you can see what you're doing. And this looks like it's charged in DMC, which makes it easy for me, conversion wise. So yeah, I am definitely impressed with the quality. If you have not tried a Satsuma Street, but you were thinking about it, it is very good quality pattern, material in the pattern. And then the second Satsuma, because I couldn't just get one, is Pretty Little Amsterdam. My daughter last year, for her senior year, one of her classes, it was a combination trip as well as, it was a leadership kind of class, and they went to Amsterdam. And so I saw this and I thought it'd be so cute to stitch for her. Again, same type of cardstock, nice, good, thick material. And what's neat is what they did is they actually gave a landmark key. So you could see what you're stitching, and then at the bottom it tells you what it is, which is kind of cool, because if you like a city but you've not been there, you can see what you're stitching, and it can bring back some nice memories if you had been there. And it's funny, she did look at this and she did know a lot of the things. They were there maybe 8 or 9 days, and they did a lot. They packed in a lot in those days. But that's for her some point down the line. And then the last one, you're all, well, no, not everybody. I shouldn't say you're all doing it. But it was actually, I think it's my only market purchase so far. And that's Pringles from Little House Needleworks. I have the pattern. For some reason, it calls for 5 skeins of ecru, and I have 5 extra skeins. Why? I have no idea. So that is fine, and I have a few of the other colors, but I do not have this kitted up, which is fine because I don't know what color I want to do it on. I'm not sure if I want to add keep the background the way it is or do something different. I think once I get all the floss, then I want to throw it against a bunch of different things. This reminds me, I loved the movie, oh, I've just blanked out, The Miracle on 34th Street. And this reminds me of the department store. So that's the first thing I saw. That was the first thing I thought of, and that brings back some fun memories. I still like to try to watch that movie at Christmas if I can. And that is it for my shopping. I've looked at some different colored fabrics. I still do want to try to tea dye using some of my herbal teas. So that is something maybe on the horizon. I'm not sure. Depends on when I can take over the kitchen. But at the moment, otherwise, do I have a couple? I might have a couple back order things coming. So I might have some more stuff to show. But exciting news. I hit my 250. Yay! And it's funny because since I was been so close all week, I would check, every day, and I was stuck at 249 for a long time. And then yesterday I hit 250 and did a little dance, and then said, if somebody drops me, I'm still giving it away. I hit it legitimately, and if somebody said, I'm done with her, I'm not subscribing anymore, too bad. I'm still doing the giveaway because I've been looking forward to it. Now these are a couple little small patterns that I thought would be fun. They'd be quick and easy stitches. And it's actually the type of thing that it's charted in just muted colors that you could do whatever. So I thought that would be fun. This is, I've never heard of them, Hinzite. And they're tiny little patterns, but one is called Love Dogs. I love dogs. And it comes with a little doghouse charm. The pattern itself is actually on the back of this. So you've got the pattern and you've got the key down here. So you can see it's a small 31 by 41. But that would be a nice, quick, easy stitch. And even though it's charted in white, black, gray, and dark gray, you could do anything color-wise, fabric-wise. So I have one that's I love dogs and one that's I love cats. And that has a little cat charm on it. So I'm going to be giving away these two charts. What I would like to know is, are you a cat or a dog fan? Do you love them both? Do you have both? Tell me about your pets. And if in your comments the word cat is somewhere, I will put your name in the cat. If the word dog is somewhere, I'll put your name in for the dog. And if you like them both and cat and dog are in your comment, I will enter you for both of them. But I will have one winner for each, cats and dogs. And I want to say thank you for watching and subscribing. I guess I should say the whole please be a subscriber. Over 18, don't say giveaway, don't say free, all that good stuff. You guys know, you're more experienced than I am in that. You guys have watched Flosstubes probably longer than me. But thank you so much for checking in with me every week. And we're doing well. We are still hanging in there without too many arguments between the two kids. They've been getting along really well. I give them a 10-minute recess minimum outside, get some fresh air. Some of the days haven't been so great. And apparently there's some sort of winter system that might hit us right at the beginning of April. April Fools probably. But fingers crossed that the weather gets a little bit nicer and we can get out more and more and just walk around. I've seen some people in my neighborhood more in this past week as I look out the windows, because I stitch right by a front window, than I have probably in the 8 years we've lived here. It's hilarious. Anyway, I hope you are well, and I hope you stay safe and stay well. And until next time, happy stitching.